Okay, this is going to be today's futures day trading video review for Thursday, April 20th, 2017 for Drummond Energy Bands. Today before 8 a.m. Eastern, we said 44.5 would be the line in the sand. We felt the best move at that point would be a push down from 44.5 to these lower targets. We didn't get that. We're going to talk about, how you can determine this. But first, we want to talk a little bit about our current state of affairs. Well, what you're looking at is the Microsoft Visual Studio that we're using to debug our software. There's been a recent NinjaTrader software upgrade. If you haven't gotten it, I'll show you the latest. And that's it right there, 8.0.6.0. That's the latest, NinjaTrader version. And apparently they found something that's related to our situation. We're testing it out with Visual Studio, Visual Basic Debugger to see if it'll crash, and then we can, feed back that information to our team, which comprises not only of our programmers but also NinjaTrader. So one of the things that we want to talk about today is not only the software situation kind of holding us up for progressing into, having something else developed and programmed so that we can release in Axe GPS Live, but also the trading room. But in the meantime, we want to, show you a little bit about our system. Now, today before 8 a.m. Eastern, like we had said earlier, we had said 44.5 was the line in the sand. Best bet would be to flush lower, okay? So 44.5, we get up here. There was a signal to get short, but there was first a buy with this first up yellow arrow, and then you see this solid white midline where this second up yellow arrow is. This is a very significant point for us to consider getting long, because we're not going to go lower, okay? So just because we, release a report before 8 a.m., that's not cast in stone. We've got to be able to read the charts. So let me just talk a little bit about how that is being simplified, when our software here is completed. Well, for example, say you pull back to, 37 into the support level here from the 50,000 tick. You'll notice here on the 10,000 tick, this ellipse here, this is our block. This is where we would expect price to pull back into. You notice we've got support here for the buy here at approximately 37. Well, on the trade chart, the 2,000 tick, we will have an alert here with a green up arrow, meaning the support between here and here, this is where you would want to get long. And you'll know that on this close here. So you'll know that on this close that this support here to here is where you're going to buy. Now, as price goes higher, we're into a scenario where the software here on the left, the 10,000 tick, will give you a down red arrow. Okay. On the 2000 tick, we're going to get two different colors of arrows up here, and predominantly the way it works is you're looking at selling the resistance in between here and here. Okay. Now, we don't get a arrow here on the 10,000 tick, okay, until this close right here, okay, which means on this chart to the right, on this close here, we have that condition. So that means we've already got our triggers on the 2000 tick, which means that we would sell resistance, okay? And that was a nice trade on back down again into what is known as our block. Now, as we flush into the block, the trade chart to the right has one of these arrows. This is going to give you the confidence to step in to get long in between these support levels here, and you'll know that on this close right here. Okay, the software will automatically plot this arrow. Now, what does that do for you? Well, if you're short and you see an arrow like that, it's time to get out. You know, you have a decision to make, obviously, to reverse or get out and go the other way long. But what you're doing is you're joining the trend, okay? And what you're doing with this second buy is you're, buying the mid. This is the block on the higher chart and also the support. So this is a very high probability area, not only in the block here on the left chart here, the focus chart, but it's also the mid right here on the higher chart. And your trade chart's giving you the timing and the support and the lean and the risk and everything automatically for you. Stay tuned as we have fun with NinjaTrader 8. We're going to get it sorted out one way or another. Thank you so much for your interest. Every Tuesday at 4:15 p.m. Eastern, we run a weekly webinar. We love to answer questions and, of course, share our enthusiasm about trading the markets.